that. I have 4 kids by 4 different people.
Hold up, but let's.
And I'm not ashamed of saying it.
And
you know what I'm saying? I done been.
No, it's nothing to be ashamed
You know,
of.
I done been young and I done done some
She
things.
should not be ashamed of that, because if we
Never.
if
I want a 5th baby daddy, I will get one.
If we look at a nigga perspective, you feel me? If a nigga, let's just say, if a nigga could get pregnant, you feel me?
We wouldn't have a lot of kids. I'm
Yes,
gonna tell you that
the
right.
fuck y'all
No,
would.
we wouldn't.
I did a
Yes,
show
y'all
on
would.
that.
Trust me,
I did a
no,
show
we
on
wouldn't.
I feel
that.
like dudes wouldn't have a lot of kids
Hold on,
either.
let me
I
ask
don't know
you this.
why I feel that, but
Let me ask you
I felt
this.
that too.
You said she shouldn't be ashamed.
No.
So if you had a daughter and she had 4 kids by 4 baby daddies, you would be proud of that?
If she was not married,
Not if. Would you be proud of that?
that she had 4 different.
That she had 4 different baby daddies. Would you be proud and say, you know what?
I'm
proud of what I raised.
Is she handling her shit? Is she taking care of her kids? Is her kids fed?
Women don't like other women. Women are proud baby mamas. No longer are they proud wives. But they are proud to be single mothers. Proud to have had children for multiple men. And guess who is never going to hold them accountable for their bad behaviors? Other women. Western women have a problem. Their problem is that older women never give them the game. Older women never give the younger women good advice. They almost always give them the keys to make the exact same mistakes throughout life that they have made. But why? Competition. Women hate to admit it, but they see other women as competition. This is why older women refuse to lead younger women down the right path.
Generally, I don't think women like other women. And when I say that, I'll mean this. You want? Yeah, go get one, bro.
Let me get a drink for that real quick.
Go get one. And the reason why I say I don't think women like other women is because as a woman, yeah, if we were to bring in 3 more women in here right now, instantly the women are going to be sizing you up. They're going to be looking at your hair. They're going to be looking at your shoes. They're going to be looking at what you're wearing. They're going to be and in their head, they're creating a whole scenario of, what kind of woman is this? And then when you start speaking, they're going to be like, oh, what? She thinks that she's this, yeah? Women generally see other women as competition, right? And so what happens is that what happens when women don't like other women is that because of the competitive nature, yeah, who are they competing for? They're competing for men.
Wow.
The man. So a woman will look at your jacket and be like, oh, that's not even the right shade of brown.
It's true. I've seen it.
They just start saying things.
They'll make beef out of
nothing. Which is why women change their friends every 3 months.
Every new circle.
Because women don't like other women. They see other women as competition.
Yeah.
The only time men see men as competition is when it comes to success.
Yeah.
They don't see a man. I'm not looking at your hair thinking, I'm bored. Oh, man's got hair. Oh, you know what?
We don't
forget
do
this
that.
guy. It's just like, he's just different from me. Do you know what I mean? I just think women generally do not like other women. And I think that plays into like the dating market, the marriage. And I think that's the reason why Ali got so much hate.
Because
Hey,
they're
I
not
agree
in
with that.
they're not in her position.
Right.
I agree
And they're
with that.
hating on that.
Right.
Because they want to be.
I agree.
You know what I mean? But they ain't gonna say that because they're on social media. They're gonna hate on it.
Have you found as a woman yourself that women look at you and hate?
Yes. Yeah.
And there you go.
Yeah.
And there you
I
go.
definitely see that.
Is it, and why do you think that is? Is that because of your looks, success, or both of the above?
Both. Yeah, both.
Imagine you've had a couple of kids by a couple of guys and you're hitting the wall. You're in your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, but you still want a man. What man do you want? The same man that the 20-year-olds are competing for. So what do? You don't tell your competition about the pitfalls. You allow them to make the same mistakes that you did because you are competing for the same man. No opponent tells the opposition how to play the game. As soon as this woman admitted that she had 4 children for 4 different guys, the other women jumped to her defense. They never told her that what she did was wrong. They never held her accountable. What they did was prop her up. Why? Because she is their competition. However, if you look at the world right now, you'll find men taking seminars, doing podcasts, trying to give younger men the game, how to not make the mistakes that they've made and how to do better. Women will not give other women good advice. They will say the same things that these other women say. No accountability, no introspection, no self-reflection. They refuse to give their competition the keys to victory. They are happy for other women to repeat the exact same mistakes, and these other women come crying to them, and then they hold them, and then they comfort them and console them, but never reveal the secrets to why she made such a bad mistake.
Picture he liked, just volunteering extra information when you know maybe it could be taken good or bad. Another issue with friends is that, as we get in these relationships, sometimes you want to keep things to yourself, or like the dynamics of the relationships change. And a lot of times friends can really feel some kind of way of being like left out the loop or getting iced out. So I think the other question is like, how do you handle that?
That's a very good point, because I have an unpopular opinion, which is I do not think you should be telling your girlfriends all of your personal relationship information. Her wounds are not your wounds. So you could call your girl and be like, I haven't heard from my man in one day. And your girl could be triggered and she'd be like, oh my God, her abandonment issues are flared up. Yes. And she's like, oh my gosh, you should leave him. He's not treating you right. Like, we also have to acknowledge where people are when you're asking them for relationship advice, because otherwise they can steer you the wrong way.
Yeah, I think the foundation for me is choosing good friends, because not everyone is your friend. And
frenemies are real.
That starts first. And when you have those friends in those relationships, hopefully you've built up a relationship enough to know this is what works for you, this is what works for me, because that for me is good friendship right there. And also too, to be careful not to dissuade women from telling their friends anything, because you know what can happen in a relationship? You can lose yourself, and men can also use it as an emotional and mental abuse to keep your friends away from you so that they can do whatever they want to you and you don't tell them.
Women like to vent and get things out, and the friend can be like, okay, take a breather, right. It's all right, before you go and like ruin your relationship.
Another tweeter wrote, no matter how happy you are or how hectic it is in your relationship, do not share it with your friends. This is interesting. I think this comes from that age-old, don't tell your girl what's going on. I mean, it's in the same bucket as like, I don't got no female friends. I'm like, I don't want to hear that.
Oh, and that can lead to suffering in silence. It's sometimes you start to normalize the foolishness, and when you finally do tell your friends, they're like, well, girl, we saw this months ago, but you weren't, you weren't talking to us, or whatever. So I don't think you should not tell anything.
Yeah. And definitely share the happiness. At least, because your friends, if they're your friends, they want you to be happy.
Shani tweeted, do not share your relationship problems with the whole world. A small group of friends is cool, but social networks, hell nah. That's another episode.
Oh my, like there's some people you can chart like the ups and downs of their entire relationship, and I'm like, ooh.
Well, that was interesting to see what social media had to say about it, but I'm wondering what the people said in the polls. Kiara, the receipts.
Yes, as always, we poll our MadameNoir.com audience to find out what you think about friends sabotaging your relationships. First, we asked, has a friend ever tried to sabotage your relationship? With 65% saying no, and 21% saying yes, and 14% saying kinda. I wonder what the kindas are.
I mean, kinda is when you have that friend that's like, they're happy for you, but
that comma
like,
but.
oh, that's nice. They're absolutely ready to take part in like the bad parts of the conversation. But like you said, if you're sharing something wonderful that like he did, I mean, that's nice, but he didn't do this.
This man was a hypocrite. In my honest opinion, he really was. I didn't find anything about him to be healing. He insulted African-American women on a consistent basis. One of his last statements that he said was that if you're over 38 and you haven't married or something like that, that you're no good and disposable. To me, it was a shock jock. And, I hope this is teaching folks a lesson about the karma that you put out, the negativity that you put out in the world, that when karma comes knocking at your door, she might not be so kind. So, the fact that he killed over real quick and was supposedly with a woman that we don't yet know the nationality, rest in peace.
And this is why the men of today are called misogynistic, because they are looking at women and they're telling them the truth. They have been so used to not hearing it that they see it as an attack. So a message to women. Start teaching these other women why they are failing. Because if you don't, as always, us men will have to lead the way.